Hey sneak peekers, it's Mary and we're here at the last day of Austin Film Festival at the world premiere of The Boy from St. Croix. Hello, my name is Mary and we are students at the University of Texas at Austin, yeah, right over there, and we're with Sneak Peek. Could you just first introduce yourself and your role in the project?
Sure, my name is Cohen. I work at a production company called Words and Pictures, and I'm one of the executive producers of the film.
Okay, awesome. And so how did you kind of get to be on the film? Did Scott ask you? Did you introduce, how did it come to be?
So Words and Pictures, our company, was started in 2021. Oh. My relationship with Scott goes back 10 years before that.
Oh, wow.
When I was a writer and he's a film, a camera person, cinematographer,
yeah.
And we worked on a lot of projects together all over the place, NBC, ESPN, etc. So we were friends and knew each other. And Scott had always talked about he had this film that he was working on, Tim, long gestating. And when COVID happened, Scott, like a lot of people, got sort of sent home and had a time to work on it. And so actually called me, and it was right when Schell, who's the CEO and founder of Words and Pictures, was starting the company, and I came in the beginning. And so this was one of the projects that literally has been with the company, that we partnered up with Scott and Duncun since the beginning. So it's really special to, Scott is such a special talent and has been such a great friend, and so to, sort of mix that relationship with being able to do it at Words and Pictures and help him was amazing.
Yeah,
so yeah.
That's so awesome. Anything in particular you all or you specifically want the audience to take away from watching this?
There was nothing reasonable about it. It was 4 or 5 hours long.
Yeah, I think just to have context and understanding of who Tim was and what made him tick, and I think by kind of showing the origins of their family's journey, some of the sort of very personal things about, it's a story about where he's from, and very much St. Croix is a place in the film, and so I think kind of understanding all of that makes you understand him so much more. So that I think that was we made a real effort to do that and make it authentic to who he is and where he was from.
Yeah.
My name is Tippy, Alfred. I'm from St. Croix, USVI, and I was one of the film composers on Boy from St. Croix.
Did Scott have a really specific direction he wanted to go, or?
Well, he wanted St. Croix to be represented, and I'm a music producer living on St. Croix. I've been involved in a lot of the local reggae music scene over the past 25 years. So we poured a lot of that into it, but we also brought out some quirkiness, some strangeness that's a bit a part of Timmy's character, my character. Any swimmer, anybody who's spent years underwater knows that it's a very isolating, strange experience. So we kind of brought that energy to the film as well.
When you first had the idea for the film, was there anyone specifically that you really wanted to tell their part of the story, or that you really wanted their interview in your documentary?
Timmy.
Of course, of course.
Good question. I really, from the concept of the film and the story, I really wanted Timmy to tell his story in his words.
Yeah.
That was most important. I'm a visual storyteller, but I wanted to just we collaborated almost and let Timmy tell his story in his words, so there was no anybody else to be in it. I'm like, let's start with that, and that's what we did for months. Was just really talk and record audio and talk.
Do you have any advice for students at UT who want to get into roles like you have?
Love it. I mean, first of all, if you're dreaming about it, don't stop. It beats working for a living to be creative, and so stick with that. And it's not going to be as easy as getting some other jobs and so forth. But I think where we are in the world, I wake up every morning and I'm thankful to do something where I create things for a living. And when I was in college, this is I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I want to do something like this. So whatever it is you want to create, whether it's documentary films, whether it's radio, podcasts, whatever, don't give up on that.
I would say take a page out of Timmy's book and make the best use of what you have.
Okay.
You might not have the best resources available, but we come from an island of 50,000 people with very limited resources, and he made it to the highest stage. So work with what you have, pursue your craft with diligence, consistency, and it'll pay off.
Using the peer group you have at the film school and making a film, that's the best internship you could possibly have, right?
Advise student filmmakers, you just really keep your keep your vision pure, but look around, be observational, and you think you have it right one way, but then redo it and look at it again, open up the script, change the lens, open up your field of view, and just kind of oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Well, how do you make it better than great? Super great, try again. So I did this a lot in this film.
Yeah.
I scored a lot of the film, and then I rescored it, because I was like, I can make it better.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you
so excited to see it. Thank you so much for watching Sneak Peekers. You can check out our other Austin Film Festival content right over here.